girls, it's Mrs. Flume, and we are currently in Honeydukes, where I'm going to show you how to make some amazing recipes that you all know and love. I hope you have lots of sweet fun with me. Keep in mind that all of our recipes will be found in the show notes, which will be attached to this video, so you can follow along with me, or you can just watch and do some of these later. But either way, we're gonna have a lot of fun, we're gonna have a lot of sweets, and you're going to watch some amazing magic happen in the kitchen. Stay tuned. Boys and girls, something we always want to do before we get started with any kind of baking or cooking is wash our hands, especially if we're going to give what we make to other people. So go ahead and pause this video and wash your hands with me. Now we can dry them and we're ready to go. And the first thing that we are going to make together today are pretzel wands. So what you'll need to make pretzel wands are a mixing bowl. This is a glass mixing bowl. It can be smaller than this. It doesn't have to be this big. Some chocolate chips. Just have some regular chocolate chip morsels. You can also use different kind of chocolate if you want. And I have some fun, different kind of sprinkles because you know here at Honeydukes we love sweets. And I have some giant pretzel sticks. That's what you're going to need for this one. So the first thing you're going to do is take your mixing bowl and fill it up with some chocolate chips because we're going to have to melt these chocolate chips. We're going to fill up our bowl with chocolate chips. Oops. Like that. I'm just going to use the whole pack because we're going to do a whole bunch. And then you can melt your chocolate in two ways. If you have a microwave, you're going to follow my steps to melt this. If you don't have a microwave, which I'll also explain in our show notes, you can create a double boiler, which you'll need a grown-up's help to do on a stovetop and melt your chocolate that way. I'm not able to show you how to do that one today, but I'll make sure I explain it in the show notes if you don't have a microwave and you would like to use a double boiler. So now that I have my chocolate in the bowl, I'm gonna go ahead to the microwave, which is right here. I'm gonna open it up, pop it in, and I'm gonna put it in for just a minute. So now my chocolate's in the microwave for a minute. I'm gonna get my other things prepped and ready to go for when my chocolate's all melted and ready. And that means you'll need a piece of wax paper, parchment paper, or you can use a plate if you don't have either of those. But it's better not to use a napkin or a paper towel because the chocolate will stick to that and it'll be very difficult to get it off. So I'm gonna use wax paper. So I'm laying it out right in front of me so that I can place my chocolate dipped pretzels on here when they're ready. I have all my different sprinkles, which I'm just gonna prepare by opening up. Oh, and there goes our chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and check them to make sure that they're ready, and if they're not, we're gonna put them in for longer. So far they've been in for 2 minutes. Nope, they need some more time, so I'm gonna put them in for another minute. And you'll notice that each time I add time to the microwave, it's going to be 1 minute more just because you don't want to burn them. Just want to get them melted just enough. But again, so now we're going to get our materials ready because as soon as that chocolate's melted, we have to be ready to go. Have all my containers ready to go. There goes my microwave again, so I'm going to go ahead and check on my chocolate. This time I'm going to bring a spoon so that I can mix it up and see if it's melted. It looks like it is, but because I'm not quite ready yet, I'm going to put it in just for 1 more minute so it stays melted while I finish getting all my materials ready. You can see the chocolatey spoon. It looks oh so good already. Got my sprinkles open and ready to go. You might need more than 1 sheet of parchment paper too, and that's okay. I'm gonna just make some more room in my space so that way I have my container of pretzels open my little work area ready. As soon as that chocolate comes out, we're gonna go ahead and actually make those chocolate magic wands. All right, boys and girls, and there you have it. It's our melted chocolate ready for dipping. Okay, so you see we have everything ready to go. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna go ahead and take my spoon and mix up my chocolate some more, just to make sure it's all evenly melted. We have to dip our pretzels in really, really, really quick. So you're gonna go ahead and take your first pretzel. You'll see me dip it, dip, 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 dip. Get it all covered, so I might even use my spoon to help me because it's hot and I don't want to dip my fingers in there. Good. Get about halfway the pretzel. Then you can take some sprinkles with your fingers and lightly sprinkle while the chocolate is hot. You want to make sure before the chocolate gets hard you put your sprinkles on. So here I have one magic wand, and I'm just going to place that on my paper so that it gets hardened. So I'm going to repeat the process with more pretzels. Get the chocolate all up on them. Again, I'm using my spoon. Good, so here's my chocolate covered. Now I'm going to take different kinds of sprinkles to have some more fun with it and go ahead and sprinkle them on my chocolate. So like I said, they're ready to go. Mrs. Flume is making a very big mess. Here is my second chocolate covered magic wand. Take another pretzel stick. And now I'm going to put these sprinkles on. You see you can also do like different kinds of flavored chocolate on top, but I'm just going to use sprinkles because I think you can put like those chocolate crunch pieces on top if you have them, whatever kinds of toppings. So here I have another chocolate wand, magic wand made out of pretzel sticks and chocolate. Go ahead and lay that out too. And we're just going to keep working, repeating the same process. So at this point I might actually move my wax paper over to make room for some more. Move my bowl a little closer so you can see it. Here's another magic wand, which we're going to lay out on the parchment. We're going to, like I said, just keep on moving. This can take however long you need it to. There's no rush. If you need to pause the video and then come back and rewind to see the exact steps we did, you can go ahead and do that too. Here's another one. When they're ready to dry, you can cast some awesome spells on your family. Maybe some spells that will make them give you all of their chocolate-covered pretzel sticks, pretzel wands, so that you can have them all. Or you can cast a spell. You can cast some silly spells that make everyone laugh and make everybody happy. What you do with your magic pretzel wands are up to you. But you will have a very sweet and yummy treat to enjoy with your family, and I think that's super, super fun and important. So now here's my pretzel stick, and I'm just going in the same pattern, using the same sprinkles. You can mix them up too if you want, put multiple sprinkles on the same pretzel. So we'll try that with this one. Still really hot, so just be really careful, especially if your chocolate is really, really hot, which it should be once you've melted it. Just be really, really careful. Now we're going to combine, so I'm going to start with my red sprinkles. Sprinkle them on, move my pretzel around. Now I'm going to go with my bigger sprinkles on the same pretzel stick. Go ahead and add those. Now I'm going to add my final kind of pretzels, sprinkles, multicolored ones, and we're going to make a really serious, sweet, colorful pretzel stick. And there we have it. This is the magical pretzel wand of all pretzel wands. I challenge you to come up with the most creative, fun, magical pretzel wand that you can. If there are any other methods too that you can add your sprinkles or your crunchies or whatever you want to add onto them, I challenge you to do that. So I have a clean new sheet of parchment paper, so I'm just going to keep going with my pretzels until I've used up all my chocolate. So, with the last few pretzels, all I did was cover them in chocolate because I'm going to add sprinkles in a different way, and that's going to be by just sprinkling them on the wax paper, which will only really get like the one side of them. This might be an easier method for you, maybe toward the end if you want, just to try something different. So you see me sprinkling. And then I'm going to show you our amazing, magical, sweet creation. You're going to let them dry, and like I said, until they're hard, which shouldn't take long, you can cast your spells and then take a huge bite out of them to enjoy. Here we are, folks, our amazing chocolate-covered pretzel wands. Look at what we created together. Stay tuned for our next recipe. Okay, we are back with another recipe, and for this we're going to make Dumbledore's pensive swirl recipe. We need for this some Jell-O. So I actually prepared my Jell-O ahead of time, but you would get a normal pack of Jell-O, and then you would prepare it with hot water and cold water according to the directions on the box. So you might need a grown-up for that one. And then you would refrigerate your Jell-O once it's in the bowl for at least 4 hours, so it becomes like this. Like magic! There we go. Here is our Jell-O. So you'll also need some Cool Whip, and you'll need either a pastry bag with a tip like this, or you can use a Ziploc bag and just cut off the end to make it very, very, very thin, whichever one you have, because I know some of us don't have pastry bags, we just have Ziploc bags, and that will work too. Here I have my Jell-O. The first thing we are going to do is, once you mix your Jell-O, you are going to take some out with a spoon and put it into your pastry bag or a Ziploc bag. So I have my spoon. I'm gonna go ahead and add some already made Jell-O into the pastry bag along with some Cool Whip. Oops. It might be very hard to spoon out, but we can do it. It's good to have a partner for this one, just because you need a couple sets of hands, at least two. You'll see I'm working on getting the Jell-O in, and I got it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just flatten out the Jell-O that's left in here, so that way I can cut in the swirl. All right, I'm gonna take a new spoon, and the Cool Whip's gonna look like this. I'm gonna go ahead and add some Cool Whip into the pastry bag to mix with the Jell-O. You can see me take my Cool Whip out with a spoon. Oops, here's a big chunk. I'm just gonna, like I said, go ahead and mix that. This should be enough with the Jell-O. Let's see. Now I have my tip that I'm just gonna go ahead and put on. Here we go. So now, for this part, you're gonna go ahead and squeeze the Cool Whip and Jell-O mix down to the bottom, and you're just gonna kind of cut a swirl. Put this down for a minute, and with the remaining Jell-O, you're gonna go ahead and make a little swirl with your spoon. You might not see it exactly, but you're just gonna do it. And your partner is gonna go ahead and kind of open that swirl up for you to put your Cool Whip Jell-O mixture in the center. So they're gonna open that up, and then whenever they're ready, you're gonna come down and squeeze. And how you hold this, if you're using a Ziploc bag, is you hold it at the top with one hand, at the bottom you hold it down here. So this hand is used to squeeze, and this hand is used kind of for control. So you're gonna go ahead and squeeze it. Oop. You're gonna go ahead and squeeze it out. I'll show you what it's gonna look like. So far, this is what it looks like. You see the hint of the yellow, of the white from the Cool Whip. I'm gonna go ahead and make that swirl a little bigger. And here we go. I'm just putting it in a swirl motion. And what you can do is, if it's not thin enough, is I'm going to grab a fork, and I'm going to go ahead and use my fork to kind of stretch it out. Okay, boys and girls, so it didn't quite work out for me as planned, but you can see that I have a jumble of Cool Whip. So instead of, I'm going to kind of push it into my Jell-O mix. So here we have Dumbledore's pensieve from Hogwarts. You can eat it and enjoy it in this edible version, but it kind of looks like that with the blue and the white from the Cool Whip. Enjoy! Alright, it's Mrs. Flume here again. Are you ready for our next recipe? We are going to make butterbeer, and what we need to do that are cream soda, just like this, 2 liters. So this is a 2-liter bottle. It's perfect. We will need some marshmallow fluff, some spoons, imitation rum extract, which you can buy in the bakery aisle at your local supermarket, some cups, and that's it. All right, let's get started. First thing you're going to do is you're going to open up that cream soda, just like this. It might fizz a little bit from the carbon dioxide, so we're just going to let that happen before I open it fully. Good. And I am going to take a teaspoon, so this is about the size of a teaspoon, and my rum extract, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of the rum extract into the cream soda. So I'm gonna do it very carefully. I'm gonna make sure I do it over the cream soda so that I have about 2 teaspoons. This is a full teaspoon right here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add that in to the cream soda. Nice and slow. That was 1 teaspoon. You'll see it's starting to kind of fizz up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add the other teaspoon too. There we go. And now you're slowly gonna rotate the bottle like this. So you're gonna move it to mix the extract in, because we want the rum extract to be fully mixed in. So you're just gently gonna rotate it just like me. You might want to cap it, so I'm actually gonna put a cap on it and kind of rotate it nice and slow, or a little faster, just so with the cap on it, it gets mixed in. So you see me rotating it with the cap on, faster. And this part is ready to go. So I'm gonna put this to the side. All right, our Cool Whip is also making a reappearance for this one, or if you don't have Cool Whip, you can use heavy cream or whipping cream. That will work too. So I've washed my bowl from our pensive recipe. So now what I'm going to do is with this bowl, I'm going to add a few teaspoons or about a cup of, so we're going to add a lot of marshmallow fluff. I might grab my fork to kind of help me scoop it off and into the bowl. So you're going to add a lot of marshmallow fluff. If you have a measuring cup, you can use your 1 cup measuring cup. You can use an actual cup to measure it out, although I would say if you're using this size cup to measure it, you're going to do about half, or about 3/4. So like up to here is what you might want to fill it up to. And I'm just going to spoon mine out for this purpose, for my purposes. So I'll show you about what 1 cup of marshmallow fluff will look like. It's really sticky. So just be careful, it might be kind of hard to get into your bowl. It is made from marshmallows after all. It doesn't, for this one, it's okay if it's not exactly precise. Most time when you do any kind of baking, you want it to be exactly what the measurements are, just because it's a chemical process. So if it's not an exact measurement, it can sometimes mess up the chemical process of baking. So this is about a cup of marshmallow fluff. So now I'm going to do the same thing, but with Cool Whip, which should be easier to spoon out. So we're going to do about a cup of Cool Whip also, or heavy cream or whipping cream. So I think I'm almost at a cup. I'll show you what that looks like. There's a little bit of a different color, so you'll be able to see. I wash my hands after each recipe. So here is, down there is the cup of marshmallow fluff, and over here is about a cup of Cool Whip. And now I'm going to do 1 more teaspoon of the rum extract in here too. Just like that. It's going to kind of add a yellowish color, just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and just mix everything together, either by hand, or if you have a mixer, you can use a mixer. Get everything incorporated together. So I might just use 2 spoons because Mrs Flume is currently using very flimsy spoons, but usually she uses. I'm currently using very flimsy spoons, but usually I would use more sturdy baking spatulas to mix. But this also just goes to show you, you can do this with any materials that you have and find ways to make it work. And that's what I love, love, love about making yummy treats, is that most of the time I can make things work. Even if I don't always have the right equipment, there's always something else that you can do from home. So I'm kind of still just mixing it up. You can watch me until it's about incorporated fully. All right, and I think we're good to go. So now, this is the fun part. I have my 2 cups. right here. What I am going to do is open up my cream soda mixed with rum. I'm gonna fill about half with the cream soda. I'll clean up that mess when we're done. I'll show you, it kind of fizzed up a little bit. Right here, it's about halfway full. And then now what I'm gonna do is take the cream and kind of push it in the other top half, and it might start to grow. You're gonna mix it up just a little bit, and it's gonna start to fizz up because there are chemicals within it that are causing the marshmallow fluff mixture with the cream soda to fizz. So I'm gonna mix it a little bit, and then you can kind of see, oh, there we go. It's starting to go up, 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 up. Add a little more to this one so you can watch as it happens. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna mix it, and it's foaming and foaming and foaming and growing. And there is your butter beer. So you can continue this within more cups if you want. So I'm gonna just fill up the second cup that I have. So we can enjoy with friends or family. I have my second cup. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our Cool Whip marshmallow fluff and rum extract to this one too. And it's gonna start to fizz. You can see it. We're gonna keep just adding and adding. It's starting to grow, but I have some more that we can put in there. Here we go. I'm gonna mix it in. You can see, oh, there we go. It's starting to fizz and grow. And here we have butterbeer all the way from Honeydukes for you to enjoy at home with friends or family. Enjoy, boys and girls, and stay tuned for our last recipe. Okay, we are back with our last recipe, and this one's not necessarily a sweet one, but it is a nice savory treat to enjoy. We are going to make some cheesy broomsticks. All you need are smaller pretzel sticks. You'll need some basic mozzarella string cheese and some chives, just like this. So what you're gonna do is open up that string cheese and pretzel package, just like this. And you're going to take a pretzel, just like this. And because string cheese is supposed to just separate so nice and easily, we're going to go ahead and cut the string cheese in half, just like this. I'm going to stick my pretzel into the top, very simply. So right now it looks like this, and we're gonna make the bristles of the broomstick by just lifting layers of the cheese stick up and away from each other, but not all the way. You can watch as I kind of just did that, and then you're gonna do the same thing. Just lift it. It should separate, but it shouldn't come off all the way. Just like that. And if some fall off, it's okay, but here I have one broomstick. I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one. You're gonna stick it, like I said, up at the top, just like that. And on the bottom, you're just gonna go ahead and pull it up. Pull up small layers to separate and make the bristles of the broomstick. Nice and easily. Here you have more broomstick, and you have some fun, creative broomsticks that you can eat and play around with. So once, boys and girls, you have your cheese on the broomstick, you're gonna go ahead and we just have to tie it. So I'm using my chives to do that. I'm gonna keep it here. Alright, I'm gonna keep it here. I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it like I would tie any kind of knot. Oops. To make it complete. If you want, you can have a grown-up help you with this one too. You see? I have it tied up at the top. And we are nice and ready to go with our awesome broomsticks. You can do the same thing to the other one. And make as many as you want, depending on how many cheese sticks you want. But don't forget to cut those cheese sticks in half so you have more, so they are shorter. So here we go with my other one. Here's my other cheese stick, broomstick, ready to rumble. There you have it. Like I said, enjoy these yummy treats, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me.